Hello, my name is Anne-Marie Pearman. I'm joined today by Cecilia Hector. Just a bit of background on Cecilia. She was diagnosed with bipolar and ADHD. She's been suicidal in the past and was dependent on medication and alcohol, which resulted in her having to spend some time at a retreat, but now she's in a much happier place. So welcome today, Cecilia.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
She's wearing her garland of flowers on her head for Midsommar as well, because you're going to be celebrating that in Sweden, aren't you, at the weekend?
Yeah. So we were talking about we have something in Sweden we celebrate now, and it's Midsommar we celebrate in Friday the 24th, and we're using this we call it Midsommar. Yeah. And we have that Midsommar maypole, so we're dancing around, singing and dancing, and jumping around like singing about frogs.
How long does it last? Does it just last overnight or all weekend, or how long?
No, it's just one day.
It's one day.
So we meet the family on the day, and in the evening, yeah, it's party.
Party on.
Yeah.
So I'd like to start by asking you, Cecilia, how you came across the 3 principles and how it's impacted your life, and whether it's, I know in the introduction I mentioned you were initially diagnosed with bipolar and ADHD, and you've been suicidal and dependent on medication and alcohol. Did 3 principles help you in any way with that?
Yes, a lot. It have changed my life. But it started when I was at that retreat center. I had tried a lot of therapy and a lot of things they did there to help me, but it didn't work out. So I came to a really bad feeling in myself, where I just didn't want to live anymore, and I wanted to give up, and it hurt so much that I for the first time in my life I woke up, and I felt something inside that I haven't been felt before. It was a very deep and really wake up to see that this is not true. I am not sick, mentally sick, and but I had a lot of thoughts coming, so I needed to listen to something. So I make research on YouTube and all kinds of social media. And I found 2 guys sharing the 3 principles in Sweden. And when I listened to them, I heard something that really felt like what I have seen for myself. So I started to listen more to them, their books and podcasts, and after that I met them, and they had 3 principle academy school. So I went there and became a 3P coach, and I did it for myself because I couldn't figure out what they were talking about at all. It was very difficult to change everything that I have been learning all my life to this. So yeah, I needed to go deeply and listen deeply So I did, and I didn't just go to that school. I was in a lot of retreats in London over Zoom, and I have been to Bill and Linda Petit and little school in Salt Spring Island online. Michael Neal and a lot. Webinars. I've been listening to many webinars, 3P practitioner sharing about the inside. Yeah. So I think that I have been going very deeply, and that's how I could see it for myself, and that made a real change for me. So I know now that I'm not bipolar. I have not ADHD. I'm not depressed anymore, because I know now when I feel sad, it's just a thought that I have started to believe in. And the knowing now about what thought is helps me to not stay there in that feeling for so long. So I think it's a trust to the guide inside that I feel that I'm carried by now. I can feel there is something bigger than me, my personal mind, personal Cecilia, that that knows so much more than me, little Cecilia knows. And even more I go deeply in this understanding, I can see how little I know about life. There is so much unknown, and yeah, it had been more rich. Life is more rich now when I'm not controlling everything. I'm more open up to that I don't know so much. I have to be curious and see. Maybe I can find something I didn't know about life or about me. So I feel that I'm not the same anymore. I'm not the person who was on that retreat center. It's not a part of me anymore. It's oh, I can't find the word. It's the past, and that was a horrible experience to have, to live in my thoughts. But it's so nice to know that I'm not part of that anymore. I don't need to stay there anymore. It's not now.
Have your friends and family seen a change since you've come across the understanding in you? Have they commented or have they said anything to you?
Yeah, they have. They see more energy and more well-being, and I think I feel younger, and I think that people see me more I'm not that tired, dark person anymore. Even if I can have those kind of thoughts sometimes. I'm not happy all the time, but I'm free to. They don't need to worry about if I'm sad. I think they don't need to worry about that because I know that it's just a feeling passing through, and I'm not that feeling. It's just a feeling. So I think they know that it's will be better after. If I cry, it will be better soon. I'm not in that sad anymore. So
So if somebody came up to you and was struggling how you used to struggle with your bipolar and ADHD diagnosis and your suicidal thoughts and your dependencies on medication and alcohol, and they felt like that was their life and that's what they were, what would you say to them?
that we have we go around with a lot of on the opposite about true. It's not true. We have all those thoughts, and they are standing they do like you can't see, and if you can just trust that behind that, all those thoughts that we believe in, if we can just slow down a little bit and just have trust to life, they will not be there anymore, and they are not the true. They are just thoughts passing by, and I can just hope that they can believe that it's the true, because we are not anything about anything of that. Is feelings coming from thoughts, and thoughts just passing by.
And if you ever find yourself in a low mood now, what would you do? Would you just sit with it or just let it go through you?
If I feel that I'm not in a good mood, I feel that I'm angry or sad, I know that it's better for me to be quiet, to step back and not doing anything, because that's a message for me, that I'm not in that place with myself, that's telling me the truth, and that I'm in my head, in my thoughts. And when I feel bad feelings, it's my head, it's my thoughts. And when I feel in my body that I can relax and calm down, and when I feel that I can be myself, that it's the soul, the heart, and it gets so more easier when you can recognize the difference between those.
speaking personally, because I used to suffer with depression, I find that since coming across the understanding, it's not that I don't get depressed anymore, but it doesn't last as long. Do you find the same thing with you?
Yeah, the tree principle don't say that you don't have thoughts, that you don't get sad or angry or anything. We can all have all those kinds of feeling and thoughts. It just only explains where they are coming from and who we are behind all that. So yes, I still feel all those feelings, but I have a trust to life, and I know when I feel sad that I have been in something that bothered me, and it doesn't look it doesn't look it isn't what they look like, the true. So I still have those. I still get sad because I'm very close to my heart now. So I see that I'm free to have all my feelings. I don't need to be positive or happy. It's a thought, and I'm not the thought. If I'm happy, it has to come from the inside, from my heart, and when I'm not thinking about it, it's just something coming up when I don't think about it at all. And that's something you often hear in the ordinary therapy forms, that you need to think positive thoughts, and I couldn't do that, so that wasn't helpful at all. It just triggered me to, I get angry about that. So the three principles explains how the mind works, and not about our experience and what we shall do with our experience, like ordinary therapy forms want to work with the patient. So that's a big difference. All thoughts are the same.
When you look back on your previous self, when you had your, I'll call them labels because you're not what your labels are, but when you had those previous diagnoses and your suicidal tendencies and depression, looking at, so it's going to be Midsommar in Sweden this weekend, celebrating on Friday. A previous version of yourself when you were in the midst of all those mental health labels, how would you have been at that time? Would you have avoided celebrating? Would you just have been a different person? How would you have been then? Can you think how you would have been then?
If I understand you right, so
sorry,
when they others are drinking and I'm not, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's my answer.
yeah.
And that's a big difference with the ordinary form that we learn in AA or NA. I have been in those, the 12-step program. You have to avoid restaurants and parties and people, And no, everyone can drink whatever they like. I don't care, because it's not about them. It's about me. That's what it was, my problem, that I had those kind of thoughts, that I thought that I had to take that wine so I could calm down. And I know now that nothing out there can make me calm down, because it's an inside thing. So yeah, that's when I was at the retreat center, I was sitting in a group together with people, and we were talking about this, and they gave them message to avoid things, but it didn't work out for me. I didn't want to be an alcoholic. I'm not that. And that's the beauty with the tree principle now, when I understand how it works, that I am not alcoholic. I'm not taking the person who taking all the pills. I'm not bipolar. I'm not nothing about that. So I don't need to call me anything. That's made up. Whose idea is that? I had different doctors telling me different things. So who decide what I am? And obviously, I'm nothing about that, because I'm sitting here now, feeling good. Even if I'm free to feel all the feelings that a human being have in life, but I'm not sick because of that. So like Sydney Banks told us, if we didn't were so afraid to have all our experience, we shouldn't be we shouldn't be feeling like this, like mostly people do.
Can you talk a bit about inside out versus outside in? So in three principles, we talk about you've got your wisdom within, and you don't look at the outside for happiness.
I can sit at that party and feel that everything is there are food, there are people, everything is good. But if I don't feel good with myself, if I don't feel well inside here, it doesn't help to sit there with all those kind people, the good food, the party, because it's about me. If I have those kind of thoughts inside, nothing out there can help me change that. So I can be everywhere in the whole world and have everything coming out from the outside, but if I don't feel well inside, it doesn't help. It must come from the inside. That is the only place. Because I have a lot of good things in my life. I have my family, and I have a nice house and work and a lot of things. But I didn't feel well, even if I had those all those kind of things. So it wasn't the things. It wasn't anyone. I needed to feel it inside here. And to know and to feel good inside, you have to know who you are and what happens to you when you got a thought you believe in. That it's the only way from the inside out to know. That's how you love the world and people around you and everything. You have to feel it inside. So when you love yourself and you are in the love, you don't need to love yourself, because we are we are all one. So you have to be in that love. And when you are in that feeling, the formless feeling of love, you feel those feeling with the outside world too. So it doesn't depend so much about the others. It depends about you. And that's not easy to understand in the beginning. I didn't like it at all in the beginning. But we have to be nice to each other and not criticize and judge. That doesn't help. We do, sometimes we do. I have also done that a lot. But I know that it doesn't help. Because if we can slow down to the speed of life, and then we can easily come back to what we know. We have that wisdom inside us, all of us. It's the same wisdom. But that's also a thing we don't know when we don't see. So I had a lot of questions to people before. I asked them how to live my life and how to do with everything. But then I get told to don't ask too much. Slow down and just listen. Can you hear? Can you hear something inside telling you? And when I did that more and more, I started to feel and hear something inside of me that told me what to do. And one of those things was to quit my job. It's not what Cecilia wanted. And I can feel that there is a lot of things in life that the ego, the person wants, but the heart doesn't. And when we not follow our hearts, it hurts. And tell us not to. So I think we have to be more with ourselves and try to hear, to listen to the guide inside telling us what we need to do. And that's a place behind all those dizzy thoughts. A place that tells us more simple. This is how you need to do. Because we know what we should do, but we don't want to do it because the thinking saying, no. But the heart knows.
I'm going to open it up to see if then anybody's got any questions or comments for Cecilia after what she's just been talking about. Tom, did you want to say something?
Well, thank you very much for telling us your story. In many ways, my story was similar in many respects. And coming across 3 principles just allowed me to regain my own identity and purpose in life. And therefore, I'm always very keen to hear some other people talking about it, because every time I listen, and I listen to understand, adds a little bit more to my knowledge when I deal with, when I help people while coaching or doing hypnosis. For instance, hypnosis is very good to sort things out very quickly. But in order to make it last, the explanation of the 3 principles is essential. So thanks once again for letting me listen to your story.
Thank you, Tom.
You planning on saying something, Sandra?
Sorry, I don't even have my glasses on, so I can't even see. Right. I enjoyed listening to you, Cecilia.
Thank you.
I was doing, I was facilitating a Zoom call last night, a group Zoom call, from a private group, and I realised towards the end that next Sunday, I normally do this on a weekly basis, and I realised towards the end of last night's call that next Sunday is the anniversary of my wife's death. And I woke up this morning in a foul mood, and I didn't know why. Eventually, I realised why. And I was in a foul mood the whole day, and I was even in a foul mood when I turned on my computer and logged in to come and join you guys and just listen. I haven't learned anything except that I was in a foul mood for no reason. I've even come up with a theme. I've been doing these wee sort of test audio things. I'm not going to commit to a podcast, but I may do these occasionally. And I've even come up with a, because of this, because of today, I've come up with something entered my mind, like there's something there. There's a talk or something there, you know, it might even be a book. No, I'm serious. But I just wanted to say that I just really wanted to say thank you, because every single time, every time I hear someone from the Three Principles community talk about their experience and what it all means, the psychological, emotional stuff, I know what it means, but just sometimes I need reminded. And sometimes it's a matter of turning on a video on YouTube. Sometimes it's dropping into Anne-Marie's YouTube channel or Facebook page and looking at a video there. Never my own, by the way. But some, you know, there's always just to connect with the Three Principles community is usually, it's no a fix. I'm no one for fixes. I don't like fixes, right? Right. That's what I was doing when I was taking the drugs and the alcohol. It was a fix. Yeah. So I don't see it as a fix, but I do see it as a reminder. The fixes never worked, but the reminders do, because when I'm being reminded of what is true. But when I'm looking for a fix, I'm trying to avoid what feels true, but is not, is actually false. It's lies, it's misdirected thinking, erroneous thinking. So yeah, thank you. And I'm going to spend the rest of the week celebrating the fact that I had the time, get emotional, that I had with my wife. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Xander. Anybody got anything else, including Cecilia? Have you got anything else you'd like to say or add or talk about?
I can just say that, Sander, that I feel the same, that it's very nice to be in this all kinds of communities, to just come out and hear from all kinds of people and reminds us, because we go out in life and life happens. We have all our experience and things happens. And sometimes we forget, and we go out and in and out from our feelings and thoughts, and that's just how it is. It's just human to do that, and so this is a good reminder. Oh, I did. I wanted to show you this.
Oh, is that the cross thing? Is that just what do you do with that?
We're dancing around, jumping like that. That's a song that's very popular in Sweden with the Midsommar maypole. It's frogs jumping around. We're singing about dance in circles, pretending to be little frogs. A Swedish thing. Crazy.
Quite fun.
And there's the flag.
I hope you have a lovely Midsummer celebration. My part of celebrating it will be to put this on YouTube at 7 o'clock in the evening, British summer time, which I think will be 8 p.m. your time on Friday to coincide with your Midsummer celebration. So that's this Friday. And unless you've got anything else.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming, Cecilia, and everybody
It was
else.
nice to be here.
It's lovely to speak to you. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.